Good day, everyone. I'm B from Our Dream, Our Purpose. Back again. I'll just say doing things a little different. Always doing things a little different here. Just trying to mix things up. Recently, you see me do a lot of larger melts. Trying to see how much aluminum we can actually melt in this year, in 2025. But this is going to be a little different this time. Going to do some smaller ones. I have a little smaller furnace here. This is an electric one I haven't used before, so we're going to try it out today. And I'm going to do some smaller. I've got a little bit of aluminum here. I got some pieces, and I'll show you here. I had a little clip on how I just have pieces, just cut them up. So we'll add that in here.
I use a 4.5-inch cutoff wheel, but also what I didn't film is using a Sawzall with a metal blade. That worked as well.
And again, it's very simple, just cutting it up to small pieces, so it actually fits in here. For here, what you've seen before is the crucibles for the propane furnace are pretty large. This is a smaller one, so this is a crucible we'll use. These are the actual size of the bars we're going to do. We're going to melt them down. We're going to clean them up. Let's see how nice we can get them looking. I'm going to do some aluminum, as I mentioned. I always start my aluminum because it melts at a lower temperature. It melts about 650, 700 degrees. So we'll set this for about 700 degrees and get that melted first, which allows this to warm up. Then we're going to do some bronze. Now these are bronze turnings, chips off of machine. So I actually have some of that. You're going to see me at this little can. I'll put it in here. It's easier to put in. But we're going to do some bronze bars. Then we got some brass, just literally brass pieces I cut up. I'll show you how I cut those up. Add that into here.
I just use a pipe cutter here to cut the copper into manageable sizes that fit in a crucible.
And we'll just melt this down. These easily will fit in the crucible. We'll melt them down. Again, the bronze melts at about 900 to 1,000 degrees. We'll set that at 1,000. This is about 1,100. So I'm going to do it in this order so we can work our way up. Again, making little bars. I'll show you the process. We'll pour it, and then we'll actually clean it up. You're going to see this. You don't often see this. I'll do it, but you don't often see it. It's borax. I'm going to mix that with it. It helps clean, bring the impurities to the top. You're also going to see me use a stick. A lot of times you see me use steel rods, and the different materials stick to it. This is actually a graphite rod, so the material shouldn't stick to it, so it gives me an opportunity to stir it, mix it up, without anything sticking to it. So I'm going to do a little more refined melt than I normally do, so let's see how it turns out. Let's get this furnace going, get some aluminum in there, and get started. All right, I showed you some of this. I sped it up. It's about 10 minutes for it to get up to the temperature that you would sell. It's 690 now. We wanted it 700, so it's getting close to what we want. A couple different things we want to do. One, you can see I set up a few things here, and reason being is, let's go this way. So we get, these are fire bricks, so it just holds the heat better. I put a couple of them so it doesn't burn down through the table itself. Again, we'll see how it goes. We'll warm it up. So a couple different things we're going to do here. We're actually going to open this up. I'm going to put some borax in it. Let's open this. See, it's warming up. We still have some, let's see. All right. It's going good. It's not melted yet, but it's okay. Put the borax in now. I'll put a little bit in now, a little bit in a little later once it gets melted. I don't think you can hear it, but it's sizzling. When I lifted this up, it's actually underneath there. It's red, so it's warm in there for sure. So we'll let this heat a little bit more. Actually, I'll turn the temperature up just a little bit. let it heat a little bit more, and then I'll actually put the molds on top there and let those warm up. Reason being is you don't want any moisture in these molds. When you pour that aluminum or any metals you're putting in there, at the temperature it is, if there's any moisture, it'll create steam and it'll pop. So don't want that. So we'll warm those up here in a bit, but let's let this melt a little bit more. Let's see if we can't. What do we think? 750? Sure. All right, we're back. So what I've done is I've melted, turned the heat up a little bit. It got up to speed pretty quick, up to temperature pretty quick. Just took a little while to melt, turned it up a little bit. It's melted pretty good. I've added a little bit extra to it. I actually tried the graphite, which it's not supposed to stick to, so I'm gonna have to look into this a little bit more because there's some little items on it. Doesn't stick that much, but it does. So I was surprised at that, but so we'll keep trying them. The one thing I do is I got several of these, so I'll use one for aluminum, one for copper, one for bronze. So it's different metals I use. I'll use different ones, so not to mix the metals together, but it's melted pretty good. Set that there because it is going to be a little bit warm. So these we'll put right on top here. Just give the opportunity for it to warm up. And that is warm coming out. So the temperature on the way this heat is heating around there, but it's still warm coming up to burn off anything in these, any water moisture in these at all. So I believe we're only going to get one out of it, so I'll heat just the one up. Actually, let me put this over here just so we don't mix them up. And then while that's cooling, we'll put a little bit more in here, and then we'll heat the other one up. So. The nice thing on this is it actually keeps track of the temperature. So we've lost a little temperature on this, but it's okay because we poured. Now that it's in there, it's going to start warming back up, but it's above the melting temperature. So what I'm doing here is actually there's a good amount in there, more than what I had thought. So we poured the one bar, heating up the second one, and then we'll go ahead and let this cool. We'll go ahead and pour the second. And then the plan is hopefully pour everything out of that crucible into this mold here. And then while the crucible's cooling down, I'll actually pour some bronze in the next one, and we'll go ahead and turn temperature up and melt some bronze. And again, I put some bronze in this can. I talked a little bit about that. We can actually, I'm putting in a smaller one purely because I've got some longer pieces of copper, but
just using this can to pour the bronze turnings into the crucible makes it easier.
So there's a good amount in there, but I do know this will melt down. So the plan's only to have a couple bars. We will see. We'll go ahead and finish this up. Aluminum, hopefully. So we'll let these cool down, and as I mentioned before, the bronze goes at a hotter temperature, so we'll go ahead and bump this up. But the good thing with doing the aluminum first, we've already got it to a temperature, so now we can just let that warm up. We'll let these cool down. Once this cools, we'll get it out of the way. And again, I got 3 different crucibles here. This one I use for aluminum. I will clean the inside out, but still I like to just keep them the same. This one I use for bronze. I got that one I'm going to use for the copper. So we'll get these cooled off. We'll move them to the side. And then once we get everything poured, then we'll come back and clean them all up and actually buff them and make them look nice. So we'll get them just a little bit. All right. So what we have in there is melted, which is good. I always have the habit of putting more in there, melting more. I want to make sure I have enough. But here what I'm going to do is I just want to pour 1 bar, then add whatever is needed just to get a second bar. We're not looking for a lot of bars right now, just looking how can we clean up a couple. So we'll actually add, again, this is fairly clean, so I don't anticipate seeing a lot or having any. But the borax actually cleans it. As I mentioned, I got a new stir stick. I call them for different metals. So since we're doing the bronze. And this is a thinner, a smaller crucible. So I'm actually going to add, now that I look in there, I'm going to add some more to it. And I melted this before. It looked like I put quite a bit in it, but it just melts down quite a bit. So I'll put some more in it. And we'll shut this, let this melt, gets down. We'll double check it, see if it's enough. If it is, might add a little bit more of the borax, clean it up, then we'll pour it in. All right, be right back. All right. I think we're ready. Come look. Let's check it out. I think we're good. Let's go ahead and give it a try. We'll get 1 more bar out of it. See how it turns out. And then we'll finish up with the copper. Again, just want to do some small bars. See how they turn out, clean them up. I do a lot of large pours, just want to do some small ones. Let's see how they do. All right? All right. Be back when that's warmed up. Let's get the next pour done, and then we'll change over to our copper. So what I've learned is when I talk about this sticking to this, they actually do a really nice job. Once this gets warm, it actually comes off of it. So I believe, I've always had struggles with bronze pouring, but it looks good. Let's go ahead, focus on the pour. tap it. I try to spread it around is what I'm doing. And then we'll use the final one for the copper. Drop these in there. Only 2 dozen. There's some. Get some copper in there. Go ahead. That in. Again, copper heats it a little bit more, so we'll bump this up. And it's really this easy to bump it up. You're not seeing it because my hand's in the way, but literally I just hit this button and it's bumping up degrees at a time. If I hold it, it goes 5 at a time, then 10 at a time. And then hit that, and it's set. Now, once set it for 150, it dropped to 145, no big deal. 149. Let's go ahead and drop this down. I'll put those in water. And then we will see how the copper does. So it's been a little bit of time. When I set this for 1150, 1149, I actually didn't hit the enter button, so it actually dropped down to below 800 degrees. So I noticed it, saw it, so it took a little time to warm back up, but it's actually looking pretty good in there. We'll go ahead and add some more. And you saw me cut the pipe, the copper pipe. I actually smashed it because I realized when I was putting this in, I was only getting 2 in there. So I actually smashed it down a little bit. Some in there real easy. A couple of these in there. And then we'll get that melted down. We'll see if we want to put more in it, but we'll add some of the cleaner into it, borax into it, get that cleaned up, and then we'll make a couple more pours. After that, I just want to clean them up, see how they turn out. All right? All right, we're getting there. Got the copper in there, we got the copper going. It's not quite up to where we want it to, but I think it's okay. Come a little closer, let me show you what it looks like. Look at that. Looks good. I'll put a little bit of borax in it. It looks really clean, but just in case, just a little bit.
I used a flapper disc here with grit at about 120. Definitely should have used a higher grit. Didn't need takeoffs as much. Left some marks in it that were really tough to buff out. Here I'm just using a heavy duty buffing wheel. You see me moving away quite a bit, and what I'm doing is switching out the bars. Do a little bit at a time. They actually warm up. The metal warms up. So I'm using the gloves and switching the bars out, so I do a little bit at a time. But we'll get them all cleaned up.
All right, we're back. Showed you some of the melts. We did some copper, did some aluminum, and some bronze that we had. And I tried this new furnace out. It's an electric furnace. It was nice because it's digital, shows you its temperature. Get up to temperature, it takes a little bit for it to actually get to where we needed it to. And we poured some different bars. I'm still trying to judge the amount in it, so I did take a little bit of extra pours just to get what we wanted. But we got a couple different bars. And then I actually used what's called a flapper disc and kind of just cleaned them up a little bit. I will say the sandpaper on the flapper disc was too low of a grit. What I mean by that is the lower the number on it, the grit, the harder it is. So it took a lot out, left some scratch marks in it, but took it over and actually buffed it out a little bit. So tried buffing it. First time doing that, so it was a good opportunity to really play around with that a little bit and see. Next time I will get these a little bit closer, but you can see they turned out really nice in my opinion. Nice little bars. Again, most of my bars I melt just to melt. I don't clean them up like this, so opportunity to clean them up. You can see real close some of the lines in it. I can sand that out, buff it some more. The bronze is very difficult on the top for the bronze. It doesn't pour as smooth, but I think they all shined up pretty nice. So continuing to work, continuing to get better at what I do, trying different things. Leave it in the comments. You like what you saw? If you want to see something different, we'll give it a shot. But I think I'll use this a little bit more, make some smaller bars, and go from there, all right? All right, thanks everyone for watching. Our Dream, Our Purpose. Like, subscribe. Hit that notification button. All right, thank you.